Good start. Thought in the first half, after the goal, we had them locked up pretty good, where they weren't getting many chances. They weren't finding a lot of time and space to operate. But then Messi did what he does, and he found a crack, and it was a great pass, obviously a great turn and a finish. I still think, even though, yes, he's the best in the world at finding those gaps and, scoring goals, that our detail in that moment could have been better. It wasn't like the goal came from sustained pressure and chances from them. So, it's a moment that we have to do better. We come into the break, 1-0, it's different than 1-1. I still thought at 1-1 we had a great chance in the game. We started the second half pretty well. We started keeping the ball, and then he found another crack, almost the exact same play. Different side. First one was our left side. Second was our right side, and that seam in between our center back and our outside back. So we have to look at both those moments, because I thought, they were able to find 2 goals when we felt pretty good about, the defending and that we were limiting their effectiveness, creating clear chances. But, that's Messi. He finds 2 goals out of nowhere, and it exposes, the detail in those moments from us. Then from there, third goal, I thought, again, we got opened up our back four, and Suarez comes in the game, another world-class player, and finds a goal. So you got 2 goals from Messi and third from Suarez, and that's what these guys do. The fourth goal, we're down a man, so, I'm not too worried about that one. But, I think it's a game that, we felt pretty good in. But in saying that, you look at the score and it's 4-1, and you see who's on the score sheet, then maybe we didn't do as good as we thought.
We got Hayden Bird, and we'll go to Kenneth. I know you talked before the game about how it'd have to be a collective effort against Messi and how you can't stop him, you can only try to limit him. I guess, how did you feel about that specific part of the game? I know you talked about how he found creases. How much of that was just him doing what he does, as you said, or how much of that was maybe a lack of execution defensively?
Like I said, I don't think he had a ton of touches and effectiveness early on in the game. But that's kind of him. He lulls you. But I thought it was a game, where we were doing well. We were defending well. And, I just think in those first 2 goals, we got to do better when they pop a ball through our back four, because we can't allow a ball to be popped through, the back four to find him twice.
Kenneth?
What are your thoughts on Javier's performance today, his first start for the Reds?
He's a player. He's a good player. He's going to be a great addition for us. He's only been here 2 days, So I think you saw his quality on the ball, defensively, everything. It was a tough 24 hours for us. I'm sure you guys know that. We lost 2 guys in the starting lineup. We had planned to start Alias in goal and Ejmir on the wing, so we lose 2 guys literally right before the match, and then a couple guys on the bench as well. So that's not ideal, but listen, it's no excuse, but it has been a tough 24 hours. 6 guys out, injuries, and then another 5 to flu. You prep. Great prep we had, match day -1, and then, last night I learned that, basically we're 4 or 5 guys down today, 2 that I was planning to start.
Let's go to Seth.
Can you just talk about the decision to play Chancalay up top instead of Veroni or someone else?
Yeah, just, we're trying to find goals. We haven't scored enough goals this year, and, I feel like Chancalay is more of a forward. He's probably best in the 2 front, but for us right now, we need to get to a point where, before we add pieces, where we can find a guy that can score goals. And, I think he did well there. Great goal, obviously, to start the game. And the thing with him is, he's going to finish when he gets in a spot to score.
Sean, you want to go to Sam?
You
You talked about some guys being out with the flu. Can you talk about the guys that kind of battled through it today and were able to play in difficult circumstances?
Yeah, I mean, Mark, we had two of our center mids that both were throwing up all night long. And, we had, again, a couple guys that just couldn't go. Like Ejmir couldn't get out of bed. He said he couldn't walk. Alias, is the same. They didn't eat. Matt Polster, he's just tough, and he was able to push through it. For him to go, I think it was 60 minutes, he was in the ER from 3 in the morning to 7 at night, or 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. For him to play the game, essentially had nothing in his system or stomach, says everything about him. And Mark got it a little sooner. He got it on Friday. But he was still, we didn't know till game time. We didn't know who was going to be able to play. And we actually had guys drop off right before the game. David Romney came in, sick. We had to send him home. Earl Edwards, obviously, along with, Alias, which meant we had to, get the emergency goalkeeper to give us a backup for the game. It's not ideal. We prepped with Alias. We wanted to play out of the back, and then all of a sudden, Ravis is in there. He didn't get the same reps. So it's, you could see a little bit of that at times, that it wasn't quite what we wanted in the attacking execution.
Okay, Sam, and back to Hayden.
Obviously, it was limited minutes, but I guess just overall, what did you see from Dylan Barrero? And also, I don't know if you happen to have any update on Nacho Gil and how he was feeling. Yeah,
I mean, Dylan's going to help us. I think you see he's talented, he's dynamic, he's good 1v1. We've been missing that, that game changer. And hopefully we can just keep building, It's going to take some time. We knew we had, maybe 10 minutes in this game, and we just got to be careful because it's been a year since he's been out, and it was a major injury. But I like him. Yeah, he's going to help us.
And do you happen to have any update on Nacho?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not good. Yeah, I don't think it's good. It's a non-contact, so I don't want to overreact, but didn't look good.
I know you talked about with Tomas that you wanted to see him maybe work with the team better and just be more part of the collective. It seemed like tonight there were moments where he connected well with Carlos, and there were some good transition moments. I know that obviously the result didn't go the way you wanted, but is that something that you maybe positively can kind of take away from tonight?
Yeah, and he ran hard, and he's bought in. He wants to score. He's frustrated that he hasn't produced what he wants, and I think he can, in that position. And I think wide at times as well. But, we're thinking ahead with Dylan coming back, and, he plays that left really well. And, so I think there's something there, with him up top and, eventually Dylan wide.
Good. Take a couple more before we get in the locker room here. So, Sam?
And just overall, just how do you feel Carlos Gil performed, especially kind of having a guy like Busquets in the middle going up against him, but just kind of overall his performance today?
Yeah, again, I think it's one that you look at the scoreline and, it's easy to say we got ran out, but I think we were in the game. I think we did execute pretty well defensively, minus the details. For me, it's the details and it's still decision-making. I made the point to the guys, if you look at when it was 1-1, for me, that's it can go either way at that point, and I want at 1-1 it to go our way. We need to have a tougher mentality at 1-1. We're at home, and yeah, they have all these guys. They're talented. They're top of the league, but I still think that's a game that we can go 2-1 and win it. And I just thought there were some poor decisions at 1-1. A simple one right before we gave up the goal is, we're absorbing a little bit. Ball goes into Ravis, and we force a counterattack. Try to punt it into Nacho. He's 3 versus 1. They score a minute later. So we got to smell the game better. We got to be more street smart. And, that was a great moment. Ball in his hands. Breathe. Relax. Fall on the ground. Open up. Let's play a little bit. And, we try a counterattack, punt into Nacho, one of our smallest guys. They're right back at us. They score a minute later. We got to be smarter in our decision making. It's really key.
Taking the last couple, Seth, and then we'll finish up here.
With the season going 1-7-1 so far, what have conversations been like with Coronafo, especially with the future of what this team's going right now?
Yeah, I have their support. Obviously, we're not performing the way we want to perform. The results aren't what we want it to be. But, I have the support of the owners and of Kurt. We need some pieces. They know that. They're aligned with that. There are signs that we're evolving. We're focused on the next, I'm calling it the quarter, right? We have four kind of quarters. First 8 games didn't go well. We're in the next 8. We want to improve, tick up. We have targets, in terms of what we want to get in these next 8. So we'll continue to stay on track with that. We're focused on the next 7 games now, and seeing how we tick up from the first 8.
Okay, one last question here. You have one?
What do you think of the atmosphere? Over 60,000 today.
Yeah, it was great, and it's tough because we won't remember that first goal like you want to. Great start, great goal, fun, really fun moment. But we got to win. We got to win. But great crowd. Hopefully I know there were a lot of new, fans that came to the game to watch, the Revs and Messi. So hopefully we have some new fans that will come back.